The man opens his 10-meter mouth and bites the girl next to him. She swallows the girl whole without even using her hands. The scene is seen by a father and daughter on the side of the road, and the big-mouthed monster sees them coming towards them. The father and daughter fled in a panic. By the time the monster arrived, the two had managed to escape. The Spats seem to be unhappy and go after them in another direction. Back at home, Anna turns on her computer and searches the internet for information about the monster. But she found nothing. Just then there is a loud bang at the door. Anna opens the door to find no one there. As she wonders, the big mouth bursts in. It came at her with its mouth wide open. In a panic, she grabbed a broom and stabbed it in the mouth. But to him it was just a tickle. He soon threw the broom out. Anna rushed over the sofa and fled back to her father's house. To her surprise, the big mouth came after her. It looked like he wanted to silence the two men who had witnessed the murder. For the safety of her mother, Anna had to drive her father away. But hiding was not an option. What she needs to think about is how to get rid of the monster. That's when Anna thinks of her boyfriend Mike. He had all sorts of books on monsters at home and might be able to find a way to deal with them. So the two of them go to the bar, where her boyfriend hangs out. She found him and explained her situation to him. To her surprise, he didn't care. He noticed that the man across the street was drugging the girl. Mike rushed forward to stop him. But the next thing he knew, Mike was drinking his drink. The man punched Mike straight in the face. It was a bad situation. Anna rushes to grab her boyfriend and run away. The drunken Mike throws up. Anna had to stop and rest, and that's when the father noticed that the girl was standing in front of him, unharmed, during the day. He gets out of the car and asks, but the girl was too nervous to ask anything. Anna and her father were at a loss as to what to do. The big-mouthed monster came from a short distance away. They had to pull the girl into the car and took her to Mike's house. They saw that their boyfriend was drunk and asleep. Anna had to take him to his room first, but then something unexpected happened. The man opened his 10-meter-long sawed mouth. He reached in and pointed his hand inside. Then he got down on his knees and begged the father and daughter to go in. To her surprise, the girl did as she was told and went in without hesitation. That very morning Anna and her father were talking in the park. They witnessed the monster swallowing a girl. But then the girl reappeared intact. To find out what happened, they took the girl home. Little did they know that when Anna went to the toilet, the girl was on top of her father and chanting a spell at him. When the girl was discovered, she had to run away. When Anna went to check on him, he wasn't breathing. She tapped him hard but he didn't respond. Just as Anna looked desperate, her father suddenly woke up. This startled Anna. She rushed to get herself a glass of water to relieve herself. When he got up, he realized something was wrong. He took off his shoe and looked at it. He saw that his left foot had turned into a girl's foot. The father couldn't accept it. Is the big mouth not the bad guy and the little girl the bad guy? To test this idea he rushed out to chase after the girl, but as soon as he opened the door, the big mouth approached him. The father put on a calm face and said what was on his mind. The big-mouthed monster sat quietly listening and didn't answer. When the father had finished, he knelt down. He opened his mouth and gestured for the two men to come in. Anna didn't hesitate to go in to find out what was going on. Her daughter was already inside. In order to protect Anna, the father went in too. Inside was a huge space, and that's when the big mouth spoke up. It turned out that he was an interdimensional creature. The purpose of this trip was to capture the shadow parasites, the little girl. They are able to eat humans and replicate them as their own shadows. The only way to destroy them all was through his mouth. After that, his father's leg would be restored. With that, the big mouth sent the two of them straight out. Knowing the whole story, the father and daughter were completely relieved. All they had to do was wait for the big mouth to destroy the girls. And after saying goodbye to them, the monster left. While they were still in a state of joy, suddenly a loud noise caught their attention. They rushed to find the monster lying dead on the ground. The woman driver was driving and looking at her phone when she suddenly hit something. She got out of her car to check it out, but she was overwhelmed by the sight of the big mouth. She pulled out her mobile phone to call the police, but her daughter stopped her. The big mouth monster was hit and killed by her mother, and the shadow is still here, plaguing the human race. Anna takes on the burden of saving the world. She and her father work together to get the big mouth into the car. ready to destroy the shadow with his big mouth. While the girl possessed by the shadow continues to lure passers-by, she soon swelled the ranks. Just as the group was on their way home, a group of shadows appeared in front of them. Anna grabbed one and shoved it into the trunk and took it home. Because the clones had been in contact before, soon a large group of shadows arrived. Anna was no match for them. At that moment, her boyfriend arrived but was surrounded by the shadows. Anna rushed to the outside of the house. When her boyfriend opened the trunk, she grabbed one of the shadows and threw it into her mouth. At that moment, a shadow behind her attacked her. Anna also accidentally fell into it. The shadow's grip weakened as Anna entered. The little girl had the upper hand. She began to talk about what had happened to her. She didn't want to hurt anyone, but she watched as the shadow consumed them. Anna felt compassion for her and was determined to help her. She went to embrace the girl, but to her surprise, the shadow took hold of Anna. With great self-control, Anna took control of her body. One by one, the shadows outside took on her form. Anna controlled them and they jumped into the body of the big mouth. One by one they were purified. The last to come in was her father. But by this time Anna's powers were almost exhausted. The control of her body was about to be taken away from her. Father rushed in to help. The two men soon had the shadows stripped from Anna's body. The father and daughter embraced each other tightly. But then a new problem arose. The big mouth was dead. They couldn't get out with all their strength. Just as the two were at a loss as to what to do, a rope was let down. The father held on to the rope. With the help of their mother and Mike, the two escaped unscathed. Everyone was back to normal. The little girl found her mother. The crisis of the century is finally over. Only the big mouth lies still in the trunk. Thanks for watching and don't forget to subscribe, like and share. See you in our next video.